We've talked about some of the benefits that gardening can provide for us. Now we're going to take a look at some of the techniques and some of the tools that will reduce the stress on our hands, hips, and knees, thus making gardening much easier for us. Now everything that we have here might not be right for everybody, so you'll have to select from these items and see what's best for you. And if you're not certain, you can always check with your healthcare professional. You probably already own a number of tools, and what's important about those tools is not what brand they are, but how that tool fits you. The first thing you can look at is the length of the handles. Any of your tools, whether they be hoes or rakes, should be able to be used while you're standing almost upright. You shouldn't have to lean over to try to do any hoeing in your garden. If the handles are too short, you can either find another hoe or else have the handle replaced. Another thing with handles, as we're out in the garden and gripping the handle, a lot of time our hands become fatigued and stiff. One way to eliminate this is to pick up some foam insulation. This is a type of insulation they sell at any hardware store to insulate hot water pipes. You can take the insulation, slide it over top the handle of any of your tools, and then take some electrical tape and merely secure the foam to the handle. This way you'll have a nice cushioned surface to grip. It'll cause a lot less fatigue for your hands.
Good day. Many people, whether they're experienced gardeners or novices, will go to their favorite garden shop or whatever and buy tools such as a hoe or shovels and then proceed to go home and start with them immediately. One of the things that you can do to help yourself out is to sharpen the blades before you use them. What you do is get a file, have your tool, and what you're looking at here is, first of all, you're not going to make this out to be a surgical instrument. But what you want to do is create a nice edge, and you file on the back side and about a 20-degree angle. And there's no need to go out and get your favorite protractor to be precise. And then you just proceed to sharpen the blade, and once you get a nice edge on it, go to work with it. And don't hesitate periodically to resharpen it.
In addition to hoes and spades, there are other garden tools that you want to keep sharp edges on. These are tools such as pruners or hedge trimmers. If you don't know how to sharpen these tools yourself, you can always take them to a professional sharpening service. Check in the yellow pages under sharpening, or check your local hardware store. Many hardware stores provide a sharpening service, and if they don't, they'll know where to send you to have your tools professionally sharpened. Sometimes people will give up gardening because they can't stand the stress that a rototiller will put on their joints. Well, the answer to that problem is this tool. This is a broad fork. The broad fork is much easier to use and puts a lot less stress on your joints. It's also much better for your soil because instead of pulverizing the soil like a rototiller will, it merely lifts and aerates the soil. The broad fork is very easy to use. You insert the tines into the soil and then step on the crossbar to force them all the way into the ground. Then you simply step back, pull on the two upright handles, and this allows the tines to lift and aerate your soil. Then you pull the crossbar back about 16 inches, insert it again, repeat the process, and you can cover your whole garden in that manner. This particular tool is referred to as a PVC seeder, and it's something that you can make yourself. Simply go to the home improvement store, buy a piece of PVC pipe. We use 3/4 inch PVC pipe here, and cut it off at a length that works for you. Usually a little higher than your waist will be a good length to use. You can use this when planting large seeds like peas or beans or corn. You can just go down the furrow, drop the seed where you want it, move the piece of PVC pipe over 4 or 6 inches, whatever spacing you require, and drop another one. You can cover a whole row this way and then go back and close the row up. Many people with arthritis experience stiffness in their hands and have a lot of difficulty handling very small objects. This particular type of seeder can help alleviate that problem because you can use this for planting very small seeds or very fine seeds such as carrots. You merely take the top off of the seeder, insert the seeds, and then you can turn the dial on top to set the opening as large or as small as you want it. Then you can take the seeder to your row, shake it and slowly shake the seeds out, and it controls how many seeds will come out at one time. This tool is called a garden claw. The end of the tool is shaped almost like a hand, and this allows you to clean up debris in your garden. Especially in the spring, you might have rocks you want to clean up, or some leaves that didn't break down, or pieces of wood. You can go out in the garden, scoop them up with the claw, transfer the debris to a wheelbarrow or a wagon, and then haul it away. And all this can be done while you're standing, so there's no need to bend over and put additional stress on your hips. This is a kneeler bench, and it has a variety of uses. First of all, the padded bottom allows it to be used when you're kneeling in the garden, when you want to do some transplanting, or plant some seeds, or even for weeding. The best benefit of this bench is that the handles on the side allow you to grasp the handles and use them to push yourself up when you're trying to stand up again. Also, the bench can be flipped over and used as a seat out in the garden when you want to take a break. This is the Rocky stool. It's made out of molded plastic and has a rounded bottom. This allows the user to lean forward, lean to the side, or even pivot around. The primary benefit here is it allows you to extend your reach when you're working in the garden. It also has an adjustable stem, so there's 4 different height adjustments, so you can adjust the height so that you can get a height that'll work best for you. This garden cart's an excellent tool for working in the garden because it allows you to remain seated as you're working. It has a sturdy metal frame, and you can use this in your garden for picking beans or picking raspberries, or you could use it when you're doing maintenance such as weeding. The garden cart has a swivel seat so you can turn from side to side as you're working in the row. It also has a screwed shaft so you can raise and lower the seat to adjust the height so it's right for you. Another feature is the garden cart is steerable, so you can steer it as you're going around through the rows or around your garden beds. And also this particular cart has large rubber tires. That's especially helpful if you're working in the garden where you have soft soil. Some carts on the market have smaller tires, which are fine if you're working in the lawn or on a flower bed, but the larger tires will work much better in a garden situation. There are a number of hand tools available for gardeners. And when you're looking at hand tools, there's 2 things you should consider. First of all, the upright handle makes the hand tool much easier to grip. Secondly, the forearm support will give you a lot more leverage, especially in operations such as digging. Tools with telescoping handles will allow you to extend your reach in the garden, and you can lock the handles at any length you want. You merely twist the handle, extend the tool, and then lock it into place. This is Grandpa's Dandelion Digger. It's an excellent tool for trying to manage your lawn organically. In order to use the tool, you place the jaws over top of a weed, push the tool into the ground, and then pry the dandelion out using the lever on the side. The handle allows you to remain standing throughout the entire operation. It works a lot better if the soil is moist. Otherwise, if the soil is dry, it might just pull off the top. There are many forked weed diggers on the market, but the advantage of this one is the bevel on the back side. When you insert this into the ground, the bevel gives you additional leverage when you're trying to dig weeds out of the soil. The angled head pruner allows you to trim your shrubs while remaining standing. The angle of the head can be varied so that you can get in closer or stand further back while you're pruning. When you have a lot of pruning to do, especially with larger branches, the bypass pruner will make the job a lot easier compared to a hand pruner. The extra long handles give you more leverage and make it much easier to cut through the branch. This cane pruner is an excellent tool for pruning raspberries or ornamental grasses while standing. Just put the hook behind the stem and pull forward. When it's hot out here, plants are going to need a lot more water. But it's a lot of work to haul water to plants using buckets or watering cans. One way to get past this is to take a watering wand, hook it to your garden hose, and use that for your watering. The trigger at the end of the wand allows you to control the flow of the water. You can direct the water to the base of the plant. This keeps the leaves dry and helps to avoid fungal problems. Another way to water your garden is to stretch soaker hoses between the plants. The walls of the soaker hose have a very porous surface which allows the water to weep through. This keeps the water at the base of the plant and the leaves remain dry. Mulching has several advantages. First of all, the mulch will help to retain moisture. This means you'll have to water fewer times. Secondly, the mulch will suppress the weeds, which means you'll have less work. Turning a traditional compost pile with a fork may be very difficult for someone with aching joints. However, by using a rotating compost bin, it's much easier to turn and aerate the compost.